That's actually encouraging diversification at field level, where farmers actually intercrop their cereals, their different products with fast-growing species.
Oui, pour moi, la conférence a été très riche et enrichissante, parce que ça a permis à nous, Malgaches, de voir ce qui se fait ailleurs, surtout dans les autres pays africains. Apparemment, il y avait des points communs et il y avait aussi des différences entre les pays qui ont participé. Donc, pour moi, les points positifs, c'est que tout le monde était conscient que le développement d'un pays, surtout la protection et la valorisation des ressources naturelles, doit passer par un rôle très important du gouvernement.
The final day of the conference sought to produce resolutions which will feed into the 14th World Forestry Congress that will be held from 7th to 11th September this year in Durban, South Africa. The main theme of the Congress is Forest and People, investing in a sustainable future.
Ce qu'il faut noter, c'est que l'APV-FLEC concerne toutes les sources d'approvisionnement du marché en bois. Au Cameroun, nous avons des concessions forestières, nous avons les ventes de coupe, nous avons des unités forestières d'aménagement, les forêts communales et aussi les forêts communautaires. Et ces différents titres doivent répondre à ces exigences qui sont contenues dans une grille de légalité et qui est annexée à cet accord de partenariat. Et ces grilles de légalité sont au nombre de 5. Donc, l'entité forestière, l'un des critères, c'est l'entité forestière exploitante doit être juridiquement habilitée, donc doit exister de façon légale. Donc, l'autre chose, c'est que les différents titres, ou du moins les opérateurs qui travaillent dans le secteur, doivent respecter des obligations en matière d'exploitation et d'aménagement forestier.
The key notes I have there is no organization of farmers. You can see these farmers are doing the same projects, the same things, but they don't know each other. So they are doing it independently.
It is important that we develop locally controlled forest enterprises because they offer the greatest opportunity for communities to fight rural poverty, improve livelihoods, generate household incomes, create employment, and a pathway for women and youth to participate in natural resource management in Africa.
Try and participate. Being in South Africa, many of you can even drive there. And if you start now, you can even walk there. I'm told people walked from South Africa to Mombasa many years ago when Shaka Zulu was driving them out.
As a result of this conference in Nairobi, Kenya, we will request the national government to improve extension service for FFPO. That is, going to feed building their capacity and giving them some technical information. For promotion of FFPO, we say organize FFPO into cooperative and networking at local, national, international, and link them to international and global level.
The major challenge which we have in terms of securing land tenure is on customary land, where most of the small producer farmers as well as other small groups are. They are 94% of our country is actually customary land. So as a solution, we felt that it is important to advocate for legal recognition of access and user rights on customary land. That is one critical thing which is necessary for us as Zambia. And then on the fair market access, this is where we had a lot of discussion, and we talked about challenges in terms of policy, on competition with the subsidized imported products. We have corruption within the policy implementation and law enforcement system. We have lack of deliberate support on the policy itself. There were also challenges on capacity issues within the market, which have to do with the low scale of production due to insufficient capital, lack of value addition, lack of information on market intelligence, pricing, trends, also issues of business knowledge, lack of access to finance, credits and loans.
So we should emphasize on the use of the existing laws to see how far they can take us. Then also lobby for the reduction of the length of registration process. And we are also, we are talking of FFS Park to lobby for that, to lands. Then need for the right to harvest indigenous trees on one's land. We know there are complaints that that is a bit restricted, but we also felt that if the species is indigenous and it is endangered, then we have to come up with standards, that is maybe KFS, to come up with those standards to guide on how to use these indigenous species.
Gambia has about 7 agricultural regions. In each region, we had established a task force committee that would engage the authorities, especially the ministry and legislation on these transfers, legal transfers of this community forestry. National Farmers Platform would spearhead this program because this is part of our LOA that we had signed with Forest and Farm Facility through FAO.
And we are a small country with around 12 million on 26,000 kilometers squared. The density is very high. So we have a land use plan, sometimes that bring problems between understanding with the government and the community. So we have to make sure there is a consultation between the government officials and the community to understand this program of land use plan. On the market access, we have to encourage producers to provide products which have a quality. And those producers, they have to be organized into cooperatives to have a big bargaining power.
In terms of extension services, the National Tree Planting Act of 2003 provides for the establishment of the tree fund. We have learned in this meeting that in Kenya, they have the Forestry Management and Conservation Fund, and that is working. Ours, since 2003, it has not been operationalized. It's not even there. We are hoping that if this tree fund is in place, it will help the different institutions, particularly the district forest services, which is mandated to provide extension services to the forestry, to the private tree farmers with the resources so that these DFS can reach the tree farmer and then provide that needed extension service.
We just finished the International Year of Family Farming, which went a long way to emphasize the 500 million family farms in the world. We are at a stage where countries throughout Africa are, I think, really now re-evaluating their strategic development plans going forward. There's an opportunity now to really get the role of community forestry, smallholder producer organizations as key actors in rural transformation and in maintaining our forest resources both in natural forests and renewing and regenerating them on farms.
To ensure the strengthening and sustainability of these family farm forest organizations, it is necessary that they share information among each other and use this information to articulate their views and influence policy formulation by government agencies. Further, through their networks, they should be able to access resources that can build their capacity to serve their members more effectively.
And as we have discussed here, I believe that the messages that we shall present to the World Forestry Congress will too aim at improving the participation of the youth in forestry, the participation of women in accessing benefits from forests, and that the men in Africa will be able to share the land resource which they own so dearly for the sake of development of the forestry sector in Africa. So we cannot leave the men behind in this adventure. we have to bring them on board.
Strengthen networking among African family farm forest owners and producer organizations, provide a forum to discuss policy and legal frameworks for locally controlled forestry development and emerging forest producer federations, emphasize and help understand the importance, potential, policy and legal challenges and opportunities that forest farmers encounter in efforts to establish and develop effective forest producer organizations and federations. Participants called on the various governments present to seriously recognize the threat of climate change and adopt mitigation measures like the management of forests through locals. At the regional level, the African Union has drafted the African Agenda 2063, in which it is envisaged that the continent will have achieved sustainable development driven by the African people by 2063.
Because the fact that the way I saw the Kenyan government working with the producer organization, it was so rewarding, and it afforded me the opportunity to learn, it afforded me the opportunity to be able to practicalize such a thing in my country, and also it also gave me the vision to see how best I'm going to organize my people so that they can be able to benefit and reward from what they are involved in, most especially when it comes to organizing it, to know their value, and so that they can find dignity in their work.
Particularly that I'm a traditional leader, and it involves small-scale farmers, and obviously we are having small-scale farmers, and a conference like this one has taught me how to mobilize our people and be able to be involved in meaningful production of natural resources and forestry. What I'm also seeing is that there's a lot of people out there who are willing to look and participate and partner with small communities. What we don't have currently in our communities is that we are not as motivated to grow forests. But what has been very encouraging, especially on the field trips, is how the Kenyan Forest Services has been able to deliver services in terms of plantation.
And to cap their 3-day visit here in Nairobi, Kenya, the delegates had a sample of Kenya's diverse culture through dance and music.
Yeah.